Liverpool don't want to sell Luis Diaz this summer, but they might have to. Keeping a player on the books whose heart is set elsewhere is an ill-fated move, and the Colombian wants to leave Anfield. You can see his case. Age 28, Diaz is one of the finest wingers in the game, but he earns a comparatively modest salary at Liverpool and has entered the second-to-last year of his contract. Diaz wants a pay rise, but Liverpool aren't inclined to give him one, instead willing to see out his contract. He was a crucial part of last season's success. Diaz scored 17 goals and supplied 8 assists across all competitions for Liverpool, his best return for the club. His electric pace, tenacious fight, and versatility proved perfect for Arne Slot as the Dutch coach led the Reds to the Premier League title. But Bayern Munich are persistent in their bid to sign the Colombian winger, having already seen a £58.5 million bid knocked back this summer. However, Sky Germany confirmed that the Bundesliga champions continue to push, and with Liverpool set to sign a new striker, perhaps a sale for a mammoth fee wouldn't be such a bad thing in the long run. Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike has been one of the more coveted names on the market this summer. Manchester United and Newcastle United have both shown an interest, but it's the Reds who will likely prevail, the Frenchman submitting a transfer request on Thursday to seal a deal with the Anfield side. Valued at €100 million, £85 million, Ekitike will cost a pretty penny. All right, but he's worth it, already regarded one of the best strikers out there by analyst Ben Madison. While Newcastle United's Alexander Isak has been sporting director Richard Hughes' first choice, the Magpies have rejected Liverpool's advances, so the Reds have stolen their top target instead. He's not as good as Isak, but the 23-year-old does have sky-high potential, the genuine chance to make headway over a number of years at Liverpool and reach that pedestal. While Diaz spent a fair share of time as a makeshift striker in 2024-25, he is at his core a left-sided forward. With Darwin Núñez supposedly off as well, Liverpool might need to sign a winger to go alongside Ekitike. According to TalkSport's Alex Crook, Liverpool have retained an interest in signing Newcastle's Anthony Gordon, having come close to signing him 1 year ago. The England international, 24, is valued at £75 million, and any concrete move is dependent on Diaz's future. However, the long-standing interest and Gordon's Merseyside affiliation could see him push for a return to Anfield, having left Liverpool's academy as an 11-year-old. While Real Madrid's Rodrygo is also on Liverpool's radar, with preliminary talks having taken place, Gordon might be the man to go for. Why Liverpool want Anthony Gordon? In Cody Gakpo, Liverpool have a prolific and proven left winger. However, Diaz's departure would call for a direct replacement, and while Rodrygo would be a stunning signing, Arsenal also have a vested interest, and Real Madrid are seeking upwards of £87 million. Gordon would be a more than acceptable fallback. A high-speed runner with a dogged approach to his football, the Newcastle star has bloomed into one of the Premier League's finest over the past couple of years, with teammate Bruno Guimaraes describing him as special. Technically sharp and physically robust, he certainly fits the mold that Diaz would leave behind, and this dynamic skill set could be the perfect thing for a young striker in Ekitike, who will need support as he steps into the cauldron of fire that is the English top flight. Ekitike will, of course, have the likes of Mohamed Salah and Florian Wirtz to lead the supply line, but in Gordon, Liverpool could retain the sense of energy and completeness that Diaz brings to the table. And anyway, the Toon talent has already demonstrated in the Premier League that he's capable of throwing down with the likes of Diaz, and indeed Rodrygo, whose skill has led Luka Modric to describe him as a world-class superstar in La Liga. Let's dig a little deeper. Now, we're going to skew the data a tad. Gordon's 2024-25 campaign left plenty to be desired, but he was a force to be reckoned with the season prior. Looking at that 2023-24 term, comparing it to Rodrygo and Diaz's league efforts last term, we can see that he's got the potential to make quite the impression at Liverpool. Quite the effort. Gordon's performances, notching 21 goal contributions across Newcastle's injury-hit year, led to the honor of the club's Player of the Year. It was his first full season on Tyneside, and an illustration of his capacity for high-level performances. And while his high dual rate creativity, and potency in the final third would elevate Ekitike as he makes his maiden way in England. The center forward could certainly return the favor, with a style of play that is truly layered and vast. Indeed, as per FBref, Ekitike ranked among the top 10% of forwards across Europe's top 5 leagues last season for assists, the top 6% for shot-creating actions, and the top 4% for both progressive carries and successful take-ons per 90. Whichever way you look at it, it's hard to imagine Liverpool's transfer window being anything other than a success. Slot proved his worth last season, and now he's being rewarded with the parts to create a lasting squad of champions.